Let's go! The NBA has been treating me very nicely this season so far. Last day, we would have went 3-1 in terms of bets. The ladder challenge day number 2 would have cashed when we turned $10 into $75 in just 2 days. And I'm not going to stay too long on the wins here, but the only bet that would have costed us would have been the Memphis Grizzlies. Zach Edey, 7 or more rebounds. Yes, Memphis Grizzlies would have won, but Zach Edey, he fouled out, so unfortunately he didn't cash for us. Everyone else, good job. Suns, you suck, because you played against our short-handed Clippers and made it look like the hardest game ever. Now on to the picks and predictions for Friday night's games. First of all, let's talk about the ladder challenge. So far, we turned $10 into $75 in a matter of 2 days, as I said before. I want to put 25 of that in the bank and use 50 for day number 3. Reason being, I don't see the sense in playing $10 every single day and eventually losing a ladder challenge, because it's really hard to make 10 into 10,000, obviously. Otherwise, everyone would do it. I don't see the sense in doing that over and over and over and over again and just losing $10 a pop. Do 20 ladder challenges, you lose $200. If you're doing sports betting, $200 is probably a lot of money for you. So take 25, put it in the bank, and let's talk about this ladder challenge. This play is going to be in the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Houston Rockets game. I got Ja Morant to get 20 or more points. I think Ja Morant is going to run to the basket, get the points, get the and ones, does everything he needs to do to get that 20 or more points. Next up, I know you're going to hate me for this one because he costed us the last day, but I think Zach Edey gets 5 or more rebounds here. Even though he fouled out against the Utah Jazz, he still managed to get 5 or more rebounds against some really, really big guys. I don't see anybody in Houston being able to trouble him that much to prevent him from getting 5 or more rebounds. The only thing that's going to fail him is fouls and injuries, which I don't think is going to happen. The last 3 legs of this ladder challenge is going to come from the Pistons versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think Tobias Harris can get 10 or more points. I think Jalen Duren could get 7 or more rebounds. And I think Jarrett Allen could get 10 or more rebounds. Let's try to turn $50 into $200. I'll see you for day number 4. Now on to the picks. So many games, so little time. I'm going to be running through them as quickly as possible because of the volume of games and the amount of time I have to edit is not that much. First game on the slate is going to be the 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors. The odds heavily favor the 76ers, which I disagree with. I think the game is going to be a lot closer because of injuries. 76ers are going to be without Joel Embiid and Paul George. However, the Raptors are going to be without Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, RJ Barrett. They may not have Emmanuel Quickley. So much players missing. I believe the 76ers can win because of their firepower, but it's not something you want to bet on because they're shorthanded all the same. Next up, we got the Hornets set the face off against the Hawks. And when will people learn about LaMelo Ball? I told you he can carry a team on his back, and that's exactly what he did in the last game. The Hornets, they can do it again, and the Hawks, they struggled against a short-handed Nets team. Who is a superstar of the Nets? I'll wait. Tell me. Right, there's absolutely no one. There is a superstar in the Hornets. They can definitely get the job done. Don't make the play, but I don't see the odds being worth it in playing the Hawks. So definitely fade this game. Pistons versus the Cavaliers. Now, Pistons, they impressed me in the last game against the Pacers. They had no right to be ahead of the Pacers for so long. Yes, they would have fumbled their lead, not once, but twice by my count. But they still had no right being that far ahead. Double digits in terms of lead. Wow. Impressive. Cade Cunningham, he showed his worth. Tobias Harris, he's showing that he is a better player than people think. But you're facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. They got some monsters in there. Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. All these guys can do their thing. And I believe they're going to win. I believe it's going to be a lot less competitive than the Pacers game, but the odds are too low. Faded. Next up, we got a conference semifinals rematch. We got the Pacers set to face off against the New York Knicks. Last time out, the Pacers knocked the New York Knicks out because they were short-handed. But now the New York Knicks are rebuilt with some monsters, and they're looking to exact some revenge here. Pacers, again, they looked terrible in their game against the Pistons last time out. But hey, the New York Knicks ain't look too good against Celtics either. But it's the Boston Celtics. You got an excuse there. Mikal Bridges, he couldn't shoot. Jalen Brunson, yeah, he did his thing, but they couldn't defend. Pacers, they also can't defend. If the Knicks get into a shooting rhythm, they can definitely dominate the Pacers. Especially by that last performance that the Pacers showed. No defense whatsoever. New York Knicks are at home as well, so I really favor them to get the job done here. Play for this game is going to be the New York Knicks to win and Karl-Anthony Towns to score 2 or more threes. I think Karl-Anthony Towns shows up tonight. The Pacers are going to struggle with size. They're going to give him a lot of space in that three-point line, and Karl-Anthony Towns is going to drain him. Next up, we got the Memphis Grizzlies set to face off against the Houston Rockets. Memphis Grizzlies, yes, they won, but they look shaky against the Utah Jazz. They almost fumbled a massive lead, but they managed to close out the game pretty well. Houston Rockets, they absolutely fumbled, but you can't blame him. Like I told you, it's LaMelo Ball, an absolute stud. I do believe the Grizzlies can get the job done here. For this one is going to be to bet on the underdog team in the Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, I see them having a great season this season. Ja Morant looked amazing in the minutes that he played. Coaching was kind of suspect in terms of benching him in key moments, but Desmond Bane also looked pretty good. So I expect the Memphis Grizzlies to get the job done. Next up, we got the Chicago Bulls set to face off against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks look fantastic against a depleted 76ers team. And the Bulls, they got stomped on by the New Orleans Pelicans. I do see the Milwaukee Bucks getting the job done. For this one is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks to get the job done money line and Nikola Vucevic to get 10 or more rebounds. Like I said, he's a rebounding machine, so I expect him to get them boards in this one. Next up, we got my Golden State Warriors set to face off against the Utah Jazz. Now, this one is a hard one. Definitely one to fade in terms of betting because if you shut down Steph Curry again, the Warriors will lose. Utah Jazz, they looked crazy against the Memphis Grizzlies. They got the size, they got the shooting. They can give the Warriors a lot of trouble here, so definitely fade this game. Next up, we have the Phoenix Suns set to face off against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Phoenix Suns look absolutely terrible in their game against the Clippers. I see no way that they can beat the Lakers if they play that same kind of basketball. The Lakers, they looked crazy good against the Timberwolves, so everything is in favor of them. JJ Redick has got that team playing nice basketball. Once Anthony Davis has a monstrous game, the Lakers are a force to be reckoned with. I don't see anybody being able to stop him. They can't put no one to guard Anthony Davis. So I think the Lakers are going to win. I'm going to be placing a bet on the Lakers money line here. On to the next one. Last up, we have the New Orleans Pelicans set to face off against the Portland Trail Blazers. Not much to be said here. The Portland Trail Blazers looked like absolute trash against the Golden State Warriors. The New Orleans Pelicans were monsters, even shorthanded without Zion Williamson against the Chicago Bulls. They should get the job done yet again against a relatively bad Portland Trail Blazers team. The odds are not worth it. If you want, you can kind of lean towards the spread, but I'm fading this game. And that's all the plays, bets, predictions, everything I got for this one. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think down below, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, support the channel on the Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.